Italy wins on tax. Portugal wins on bureaucracy. And Spain wins on weather. But none of these tell you which one is actually right for your retirement. I've spent weeks going through the numbers on all three. Costs, taxes, healthcare, visas. The honest scoreboard that most comparison videos skip. And I'll tell you up front, I'm moving to Italy. I have roots there. I also have Italian citizenship, so I do have a bias. I'm focusing on Italy, Portugal, and Spain today, which are the three most practical options for retirees today. Greece deserves its own video, and it might be coming, but for now, these three. 6 rounds, which include cost of living, taxes, healthcare, visas, property, bureaucracy, and daily life. Stay till the end, because the winner of one category, which most people forget about, might surprise you. Round 1. Cost of living and property. Rent, food, utilities, and what it actually costs to buy. I am comparing smaller cities and towns and not capitals, not tourist hotspots. The places where people actually retire. First one, I'm gonna go with rent. So, southern Italy, Puglia, Sicily, Abruzzo, we're going 4,600 euros per month for a 1-bedroom. Portugal, outside of Lisbon, is gonna be between 500 and 700 euros. And in Spain, smaller cities like Valencia or Alicante, 600 to 900 euros. So on rent, Italy wins. Now food and utilities, I'm gonna put them together. And Portugal is cheaper on both. Cheaper groceries, cheaper energy bills. Italy is the most expensive of the three on utilities specifically. Older buildings, poor insulation, higher energy costs, budget for it. Spain sits between the two on everything. So on food and utilities combined, Portugal wins. If we try to do a monthly budget for a couple living comfortably, southern Italy will be between 1,800 to 2,500 euros, Portugal between 2 and 2,800 euros. Despite cheaper food and utilities, rates have gone up significantly in Portugal in the past years. Spain between 2,200 and 3,000 euros, which is the most expensive of all three. Property. Southern Italy is one of the cheapest places to buy property in all of Western Europe. Between 1,000 and 2,000 euros per meter in most southern regions. A habitable 2-bedroom apartment in a real town will go for between 80 and 120,000 euros. Portugal has gone expensive. Even smaller cities have risen significantly. Between 2,500 and 3,500 euros per square meter in many areas. Spain sits between the two. Inland smaller cities like Valencia or Murcia are more competitive, between 1,500 and 2,500 euros per square meter. So on property, Italy wins, and it's not even close. One thing to know about Italy is that the process is more complex than Spain or Portugal. I mean, the price is lower, but the process takes longer. So round 1. Italy wins on cost of living and property. The rent advantage is real. The property price advantage is significant. The higher utilities are real cost, but they don't close the gap. Now, again, I did not choose Italy because of the spreadsheet. I chose Italy because of my Italian roots. And that's where my heart is. Italy was always where I was going. Which means I do have a bias, but I did try to keep this out of these numbers. So if you're living in Portugal or Spain right now, and you think I've got this wrong, drop your numbers in the comments below. Where you live, what you pay, let's try to build a real picture here. because the most honest data is probably gonna be coming from you, because only you know what you really pay. Round 2 is taxes, and I need to start this one with something that might surprise many of you, especially those of you who choose Portugal for the tax benefits. For years, Portugal's biggest tax advantage was the NHR, the non-habitual resident regime. It gave qualifying retirees a 10% flat tax on foreign pension income for 10 years. It was extraordinary, and it's why hundreds of thousands of people moved to Portugal. It's gone. The NHR closed to new applicants on March 2025. If you are moving to Portugal now, you cannot access it. The replacement regime is aimed at highly qualified professionals in science and innovation. Retirees don't qualify. What this means for retirees moving to Portugal today, your foreign pension income is taxed at Portugal's standard progressive rates, which are up to 48%. Now, Spain has the Beckham law, a flat 24% tax rate on Spanish source income for up to 6 years. But the Beckham law is for workers and professionals who relocate to Spain for work. Pension income does not qualify. Spain's standard income tax for retirees is progressive from 19% and up to 47%. Italy has the 7% flat tax regime. If you move to southern Italy to qualifying towns under 30,000 residents, in regions like Sicily, Puglia, Calabria, you pay a flat 7% on all your foreign income for up to 10 years. Pensions, social security, dividends, rental income from abroad, all of it 7%. Italy's standard rate goes up to 43%. The 7% regime is one of the most competitive retirement tax incentives in all of Europe. There are two important things about the 7% regime. First, it's geographically restricted. It does not apply if you want to live in Rome, Florence, Milan, anywhere in the north, southern Italy only. Second, for Americans, the interaction between the 7% regime and the US tax obligations is complex. You will need cross-border qualified tax advice before you make any decisions. And you have the IVIE and the IVAFE, Italy's wealth taxes on foreign held property and financial assets. These sit alongside the 7% income tax, not inside it. Factor this in. Round 2 verdict. For retirees moving to Italy, Italy wins on taxes. The 7% flat tax is still available, still powerful, and was actually extended recently to cover 74 more towns. Portugal's advantage is gone for new arrivals, and Spain never had a retirees regime to start with. Now, I know some of you are gonna push back on this. Maybe you moved to Portugal under the NHR and your situation is completely different. Maybe you have a tax structure that makes Spain more efficient for your specific income sources. Good, tell me. Drop your situation in the comments. I'm genuinely interested how different income profiles change the answer. Round 3, healthcare and visas. And one of these countries has a significant advantage that most comparison videos miss. First, something that applies to all 3 countries equally. Before you get residency in all these countries, Italy, Spain, and Portugal, you will need private health insurance. It is a requirement for your visa application. I did put a link in the comments for a good option for health insurance. The good news is that private health insurance in all 3 countries is significantly cheaper than in the US. Expect between 50 and 130 euros depending on your age and coverage level. After you get residency, All three countries give you access to their public healthcare systems, and all three are genuinely good. But there are real differences. Spain's healthcare system is ranked among the best in the world consistently. It's well funded, well staffed, and widely accessible. Many retirees use both the public system and a private top-up for specialist access. Portugal's system is solid and accessible. English-speaking doctors are abundant, especially in expat areas and cities. Wait times can be long in the public system. And again, many retirees supplement this with a private health insurance, which the cost would be between 40 and 130 euros per month. Italy's system, the SSN, is ranked number 2 in the world by the WHO, behind France and ahead of everyone else. When it works, it's extraordinary. But, and this is the honest part, there is a significant quality gap between North and South Italy. In Lombardia or Emilia Romagna, you get world-class care. In parts of Calabria and rural Sicily, wait times are longer, English-speaking doctors can be scarce, and the facilities, let's say, are more variable. If you're moving to southern Italy specifically for the 7% tax regime, factor the healthcare reality into your decision. Now, visas. And this is where one country has a clear practical advantage. Italy's elective residency visa requires 31,000 euros per year in passive income for a single person. It is one of the higher requirements in Europe. Spain's non-lucrative visa requires approximately 27,000 euros, which is in the similar ballpark as Italy. Portugal's D7 visa requires approximately 8,460 euros per year, which is significantly lower than Italy and Spain. This is Portugal's practical advantage for retirees with a lower income source. If your income is under 20,000 euros per year, Portugal may be the only one of these three that is accessible to you on a standard retirement visa. Round 3 verdict. Healthcare, I'm gonna call this a draw between Spain and Italy at the top level, with an honest caveat that southern Italy has, let's say, more variability. Portugal is excellent, but ranks slightly behind the other two in independent assessments. Visas, Portugal wins clearly. The D7 income requirement is dramatically lower than Italy and Spain. For retirees on modest income, this could be the deciding factor. So on round 3, I have a split. Portugal wins on visas. Spain and Italy share the healthcare honors. Round 4 is the round nobody talks about. Round 4, bureaucracy and daily life. Language first. Spanish is the 4th most spoken language in the world. Millions of Americans already have exposure to it. The learning curve is real, but very manageable. Portuguese is less familiar to most Americans, but Portugal has one of the highest English proficiency rates in all of Europe. Italian, honest answer, is a bit difficult. And English proficiency in Italy, especially in the south, is scarce. You will need to know Italian to live comfortably outside of tourist areas, and especially in the south. This is not optional. I actually left a link in the comments for a great place to learn Italian. Bureaucracy. All 3 countries have bureaucracy, but they're not equal. Spain, moderately complex. Appointments can be slow. Regional variation is significant, but the systems generally work. Portugal, widely considered the most straightforward of the 3 for expats. The D7 visa process is clear, processing times are reasonable, and the government has invested in making relocation accessible. Now Italy, I love Italy. Again, that's where I'm going. And Italian bureaucracy is legendary for a reason. It is slow, it is complex, it is paper-based, and it varies enormously by region and by which individual you happen to speak to on any given day. You will need patience, a good lawyer, and a high tolerance for uncertainty. Budget for professional help. This is not optional. Expat Community. Spain has the most significant expat community of all three, particularly on the coasts. Costa del Sol, Costa Blanca, and the Canary Islands. If community matters to you, then Spain wins. Portugal, growing rapidly. Lisbon and Algarve have very strong expat communities, and English-speaking services are widely available. Italy has a smaller expat community overall, though it is growing. In specific towns like Taormina, Ostuni, Ortigia, Tropea, you will find established communities. In smaller towns, you're more likely to be one of the very few foreigners, which for some people is exactly the point. Round 4 verdict. Portugal wins on bureaucracy clearly. Spain wins on expat community. Italy wins on authenticity and community immersion, but comes last on language difficulty and bureaucratic complexity. So 4 rounds, here's the scoreboard. Italy wins 2 rounds outright. Portugal wins 2. Spain, excellent on healthcare and lifestyle, didn't win a single round outright. So who wins overall? Italy, and here's why. The 2 rounds Italy won, cost of living and taxes, are the 2 rounds that actually determine whether your retirement is financially sustainable long term. Everything else you can work around. You can learn Italian, you can hire a lawyer for the bureaucracy, you can supplement health with private health care insurance. But if you run out of money, none of the other advantages matter. Italy's 7% tax rate, combined with the lowest cost of living of the 3, gives you the strongest financial foundation of any retirement destination in Southern Europe right now. 2 things. If your passive income is under 20,000 euros a year, Portugal's D7 visa can be your only realistic option. And if bureaucracy genuinely breaks you, Portugal is a more forgiving country to navigate. Italy will test your patience in ways Portugal won't. And me, I chose Italy. Not because of the scoreboard, even though it does agree with me. It's more like because every time I land in Milan, I feel like I'm coming home. Because every time I imagine the life I want, the piazza, the food, the language, the food, the pace, the food, the people, the food, it's always all Italy. So the bureaucracy is frustrating. I have a lawyer that takes care of that. I'm all in on Italy. Now, Portugal and Spain people, your country, your numbers, that one special thing you have there, the one thing you wish someone told you before you moved. Let's make the comments on this video helpful and honest. If this video helped you think through your decision, please subscribe. Next video is coming. We have a Sicily deep dive video, an Italian citizens by descent video that changed dramatically in the past few weeks, and a Greece video, maybe. After all, this channel is about moving to Italy. And if you need more, watch this one next.